People keep asking me about the 25th Amendment, and I'm like, who cares? That he seems to me to be very easy to manipulate to move off stage and simply have be the ones who sign the bills. Um, I think that that will be if I were JD Vance, that's what I would do. Um, but I think you have to assume that Trump will not really be the one in charge of his administration, except to the degree that he's able to use his anger and vitriol to go after his own personal enemies. I think that will happen. But I think the immigration program that Stephen Miller gets in charge of, Trump's the one who's going to sign off on it. And JD Vance is, of course, going to dismantle the American government. That's very clear. So what they are offering, what that group is offering is this. They are offering to take the United States government. And first of all, Musk has been very clear he wants to crash the economy. And that Trump will be part of, wittingly or not, with these tariffs he keeps talking about. Because tariffs, and this is just so astonishing to me, he still maintains he doesn't understand this. Tariffs are paid by the American consumer. They are not paid by foreign countries. They are paid by the American consumer. So if he puts his tariffs on, and if they do begin the process of trying to deport, they're talking now 20 million people, and they are now saying that they will decide who is here legally and who is not. It's going to be chaos. And undocumented immigrants to this country make up, I believe it's half the number of people who work in agriculture and especially milk for some reason. And please don't write to me about that. I'm writing about immigration, and I will know the answer to that. And I just can't read a whole bunch of emails about milk tonight. Dairy cattle. But they also make up more than half of the workers in a number of the building trades. So imagine not only just ripping those away, but making people who are adjacent to that afraid. That's not a recipe for continuing the kind of economic growth we've got. So they're talking about destroying the economy. Oh, and with part of the idea behind this is to collapse the dollar and theoretically pay off our debt cheaper, but that's absolutely not the way it will work. That's a tech bro fantasy, and that's not the way it will work. And of course, Musk's all behind the idea, and so is Don Jr. of turning America into a cryptocurrency supporter. And this is not a thing. This is not going to work. What they're really trying to do is get rid of the American state, and the reason that they want to get rid of that from the tech bro side is because they don't like regulations. They don't like the regulations that they feel stop them from being able to do the things that they could otherwise do. And they don't like Musk anyway, and Peter Thiel has written about this, don't like the regulations and the laws that talk about making sure that hiring is fair with women and people of color, because they maintain that slows down their ability to innovate. People like me say that's crap, that they got that exactly backward, but they want to get rid of those regulations. And they've said so. This is, if you're interested, Peter Thiel writes a lot about this. Elon Musk writes a lot about this. They want to get rid of, the tech bros want to get rid of that. But the people like JD Vance want to get rid of the American state because they believe that its secular focus on treating everybody as equal before the law has weakened Christian patriarchy. And what I mean by that is that by requiring LGBTQ plus people to be recognized as having equal rights, women to be recognized as having equal rights, minority Americans, either by race or by ethnicity or by religion, as having equal rights, has weakened Christian patriarchy, and that in order to make America pure again and make it into the Christian nation that they insist inaccurately it was originally, never a Christian nation, that they have to get rid of the state that requires those things to be protected. And J.D. Vance has been very clear about that. I've posted a number of times his clip from 2021, right when he was converting to radical Catholicism, that says we have to be he doesn't use the word brutal. We have to, and he doesn't use the word aggressive. We have to be it's a word like that though, in the exercise of power. We have to get rid of the secular nature of our government. Now, in order to do that, you can see this in Project 2025. They want to get rid of the nonpartisan civil service, which is sort of the ballast that gets the work of the government done, and make all the workers loyal to the one president. They want to get rid of the nonpartisan nature of the Department of Justice so that it answers again to an autocrat. And they want to get rid of the independent military and make all the people in the military loyal to the president. What that is an authoritarian. That's a dictator. So that's what they are offering, along with the Christian laws that they will put in place nationally along with that. No abortion, the idea that companies have to react to their moral values rather than to markets, and all the Christian laws that go along with that. And they want to get rid of NATO and the guardrails across the world and align America with other dictators, not with the rule of law. And that is, this is one of the things that kind of makes my head explode, because if you're trying to protect the economy, you cannot get rid of the rule of law, because among other things, that's what protects the freedom of the seas, which is how container ships come and go. I mean, it's a lot more complicated than they would like to think it is. And I do want to make the point that not all billionaires and not all tech people are on this side, because the smart ones recognize they need the rule of law. And they are supporting, people like Mark Cuban are supporting Kamala Harris because they recognize that they need that rule of law to continue to have global trade. And, as somebody said, if you don't like the rules that America and Brussels have laid down, Europe have laid down, just wait till you try the rules that China and Russia lays down, because America is now on their side. And quite literally, if they're running everything, they could simply say, you think supply chains are bad now? We don't feel like letting our ships go to you. We don't feel like doing this for the next year. See how you feel with no products from China. That is a possibility. And again, I just think the MAGAs have not thought that far through. Now they're offering that. We know it is unpopular.